Good morning and welcome to the Return Homestead. My name is Mike and my wife Marty and I homestead 6 acres in northeastern Kentucky. We've been well snowed in. And this snow and ice has been here for almost a week now. In fact, it started coming down a week ago. It's getting a little more treacherous to walk on, but come on with me today and we'll give you a look at what we've been doing day by day here. One of those unfortunate tragedies that happens, we lost the frost free out in front of the barn right as the snow was starting. So we got to carry the water out to the chickens right now. So that's first order of business. Make sure the chickens get the food and water they need for the day. Y'all, at first this may look like it's just a bunch of snow, but this is a sheet of ice. All of the snow is blowing off of it now, so there's no traction left from the snow. It is just a sheet of ice. So come on with me, let's go see if we can get to the chickens. We got to get some of this water out to them until we can get that frost-free fixed. The only source of water that chickens have is what I can bring out to them from inside. So I'm carrying a 3-gallon bucket of water and all the tools I need to feed the chickens. We're just going to see if we can get out across this ice and get out to them. I'm going to try to take y'all with me on this adventure, but if I need to, I'm going to have to set the camera down and just leave it wherever it lies. This is going to be a little bit treacherous. It's been getting a little more difficult day by day as the snow gets blown off and the sun comes out to melt the top layer. Everything freezes up overnight, so it's going to be an ice skating rink this morning. Some people have been asking us why we would do this to ourselves. Why would we move out to the middle of nowhere and subject ourselves to such extreme conditions just to have some fresh eggs? And there's a lot more to it than that. We did give up a lot of safety and security. Obviously, we could have lived in an area where somebody was coming out with a plow to clear the roads and also make sure our driveways were clear. And we could be using electricity for our heat. We've chosen this way of life as a way of regaining our freedom. Just getting over the electric fence, which I probably should have taken down or at least laid down before this snow started. It's kind of treacherous. That's nothing but ice in there on the ground. You see it kind of glistening in the early morning sun here. So I'm going to set the camera down and see if we can't get some water into these guys. See, there's a problem with that other way of life where everything is soft and easy and there's a bunch of people taking care of all of your needs. And that's that you're beholden to them. If you want to continue to live that life, you've got to live it the way they say do. You've got to believe what they tell you to believe. You've got to do what they tell you to do with your day. There's no freedom in that. We chose the freedom. We decided that was more important to us than having a soft and comfortable life. That it was more important for us to be dependent on what effort we put out in a given day to take care of our future, rather than being dependent on someone else or some other system to provide for our future. Yes, this is hard work. It's not easy to be out here doing this, but it's just as hard to force yourself to get out of bed at 5 o'clock in the morning and make an hour-long commute to the office to put in a full day's worth of work for somebody else's benefit. And to take home only enough of what your work was to be able to get by. There's really no way to get ahead in that system. It's not designed for you to get ahead. It's designed for you to stay in your place, doing what you're told, thinking what you're supposed to think. And I am still frozen out of the barn, meaning I can't get in and out of the main doors. So the only access I have inside the barn, and of course access to the feed, is to go through the coop. Thankfully, the coop is isolated enough from the outside and everything has stayed clear on its door, so it's operating normally. And although it's exceptionally cold out here, the chickens don't seem to mind that so much. They do prefer to get outside. They don't like being cooped up. They don't lay many eggs when they're cooped up. So we're going to go ahead and bring their food and water outside. Let them spend the day out here in the sunshine. Morning, chickens. Come on out. What's up, Rocky? Come on, boy. Oh, boy. Once the rooster's out, the hens pretty much follow him. If he goes back in, all the hens go in too. They're a little mad because I haven't put any food out for them, right? So while I'm out here taking care of the chickens and risking breaking my neck on this snow and ice, Marti is inside. She's got some beef broth. So we have some bone broth that's been cooking. She's going to be canning that up today. She's got some freshly made bread, some sourdough bread that she's made with some freshly ground wheat. And that's going to be in the oven and cooking for our dinner tonight. And we're doing all of that instead of making that commute, and instead of putting my labor or her labor into making somebody else rich. At the end of the day, making that commute is only going to make you sick, because on the way home you're going to stop for fast food and eat some slop that somebody else put together in a factory, possibly even grew in a test tube. For us, that's just no way to live. We wanted to have all the best things in life. And we knew that was going to come with some sacrifice. We're going to have to give up on being a part of that system in order to build our own systems and to take care of our own future. It's like everything slid off the roof of the truck last night. Get that ice off the windshield. gonna have to start the truck up. I don't want to leave this ice on here. I may need the truck. And right now, this stuff is freezing into a solid block right around the windshield wipers. So we got all that ice off of the top of the truck. Now it's on to our other most important thing to do today. We won't try to get a lot done today, but there are certain things that just have to be done. The chickens have to be fed and watered. And because wood is our only source of heat inside of the house, I've got to split and bring some wood in. And this has become just a big ice rink, really. If I had a pair of skates, I could probably go ice skating on this. It is a little soft, but the top surface is solid and wet, so it is slick. There's the pile of wood over here. It's back in the shadows. It's a whole lot easier to work if I get out of the shade here. So I'm going to drag all my tools out, find a spot on top of the ice where there is still a little bit of snow, and see if we can't split some of this up and get it dragged inside. So that's what we've come out here seeking. We're looking for that freedom, the freedom to, yes, spend your day cutting wood. If that's what you want to do. We've freed up our time. We've gotten rid of all of those social positioning concerns. I'm no longer working on building a career and arguing with a boss. None of those things get in the way now. There's plenty of time for taking care of a stack of wood, putting away all the bone broth you can possibly cook, and just preparing to take care of your needs into the future. We're really putting these videos together for that reason, to make sure everybody understands there is a choice in this. You do have other options. It's not actually a requirement for life that you find your place in society. It's not necessary to be a part of the whole group. It's enough to take care of your own needs, provide for yourself off of the land that God's given you, take care of your neighbors where you can, and just live one day at a time. So that's pretty much it from here. There's not really a lot more we can do outside. There's fencing that needs to be put up, but there's no doing fencing out in that. The chickens would love to come out and forage, but there's no way to get them out. So we're pretty much done for the day outside once we got the wood in. It's just a matter of feeding the fire, keeping this thing going. It's 70 degrees inside, it's about 5 degrees outside, so we're doing pretty good keeping things warm. So that's the trade-offs that you make. We have traded off security and safety for freedom. And we appreciate the freedom a lot more. We're hoping a lot more folks would begin to recognize the loss of freedom that they have in their lives. And to try to reclaim some of that back again by returning to the land, returning to labor, and returning to life. We appreciate you joining us on the Return Homestead today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, just take a moment and go ahead and do that. While you've got that window open, hit that thumbs up icon. That lets the algorithm know you enjoyed watching the video, and they'll share it out with more people. We'll see you next time.